Okay, I think we're live. Usually it does this a little bit at the start. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes to get in here before we get started. Not sure how long this is gonna go. My prediction was around 30 minutes, but we'll see. It may take longer if we want to talk about more stuff.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. The last live stream we did was about a month ago. We did, yeah, it was almost exactly a month ago. We did our predictions of the NCAA tournament. They did a 16-team tournament. So it's been about a month since then. So hopefully all you guys have been well, been staying healthy, and not too bored during these times right now. So yeah. A lot of people are stuck at home. Warriors in here.
Hey, man, Warriors.
How's it going? I'm going to give one more minute before I get started here.
Check out that site. It's really good.
No more flush that.
All right, sorry.
So, yeah, I'll give one more minute. 7:02, I'll get started. Yeah, so, obviously, by the title of this live stream and the last upload I just had, there was some big news on the Kentucky front here today.
Good news.
Some good news, finally. Well, we did get some good news a couple days ago when Brooks decided to come back.
Yeah, which wasn't really in the air at all.
It was kind of expected, but then again, you never know with these guys because guys could transfer like Johnny Juzang did. So you never know. But yeah, let's get into it. So basically, the big news of today is Kentucky added a big-time addition for next year's team in Davion Mintz. He is a grad transfer from Creighton, and he's a point guard. That's really a big deal. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video this morning, so I don't know how I didn't mention that, but he is a point guard. So basically, I'll just read through the stats again really quick just to go over how many points he has scored. So he's played 3 years at Creighton. He was going to be a senior last year in the 2019-20 season, but he had a high ankle sprain before the season started, so he decided to sit out the entire season so he wouldn't waste his last year of eligibility last year. And in his 3 years there, he increased his points per game average each year. His first year, his freshman season, he scored about 3 points per game. He doubled that in his sophomore year, scoring about 6 points per game in his sophomore season, and then increased that to almost 10 points per game in his junior year. So he was trending in the right direction. And obviously, that's the first thing I have written down here is obviously this guy can score. I put down some of the things. There was a lot of games he scored over 10 points, but some of his highest games of scoring, he scored 17 points against Marquette in his freshman season. He scored 17 again against Georgetown in his sophomore year, and also in his last year. So basically, in his sophomore year, they played in the NCAA tournament, which is big because next year if we lose everyone, then we're gonna have basically no one with tournament experience. Yeah. So this will be a guy that's played in a tournament game. They lost to Kansas State, but he scored 10 points and knocked down both threes that he hit. So that's a big deal right there, I think, especially depending on who we get back or don't get back. And then also
Kenneth, what's going on?
Yeah, I'll read a couple of comments in a second. Yeah, Kenneth, good seeing you, man. And then in his junior year, he had a lot of high scoring games. One in particular, he scored 21 points at Marquette, and he also scored 19 points at Villanova. So I think that was the first thing I had down was that he could score points, and obviously as you see here, he can definitely score. The guy is a ball handler. No, you can just have it there. You want? No, I don't see it. There's too much reflection.
Oh, might be able to.
That's more for you to see it. But so basically, yeah. So the guy can score. I think he has good ball handling. Yeah, that's not.
That's how you can't say that. Okay, never mind.
And the biggest thing I mentioned in the video, and I think it goes without saying, really, he was putting up these kind of numbers and not a slouch of a conference. Like he was doing this in the Big East, which, in my opinion, outside of the Big Ten and then maybe the ACC on a better year, I think it's one of the best conferences in college basketball. It's pretty deep. They have Creighton was really good last year. They were going to be the 7th ranked team in the entire country last year. I couldn't believe that because if you watch the live stream about the tournament, they were 7th. That's just what the AP pool had them at. There's Villanova, who's won 2 titles in like the last 5 years. There's Butler. There's, as much as I don't really like him, Xavier's in there. There's Seton Hall. We all know about Seton Hall as Kentucky fans. Yeah. And then I'm sure there's some that I'm leaving out right now, but it's a pretty deep conference. So he's putting up these impressive numbers against these kind of teams. So I definitely would say one more thing about his stats before we get to the next part is I think his three-point shooting ability is a major strength. He shot, like I said earlier in the video, he shot over 35% each season he was there. In fact, I think 35% was his low. Darn it. Can you just keep talking for a second? So basically 35% is his low from out of the 3 seasons that he played. In fact, I think he shot 36% one year and then 37% the other year. So that's pretty good numbers right there. Really good clip for 3-point percentage. Anything over 33%, in my opinion, is pretty good. So I think that's really the gist with this guy. The impact of this addition, in my opinion, before I let you say a couple of things, is it brings in an experienced and veteran guard, especially a point guard. There's many reasons why this is really good for our team. One in particular is without this addition and not knowing what Quickly is going to be doing, Devin Askew, I hope I'm saying that name wrong or right. I'll figure it out once we hear it said on TV. But Devin Askew is going to be a freshman point guard coming in. And in fact, I think he's a reclass guy too. So he's actually going to be like a Ju Zhang type guy. He was supposed to be a senior in high school this coming year, but he's going to be in college. But we've seen more guys do this now, so this is kind of a normal thing. But having a mentor, possible influence guy, helping him get into the college atmosphere is, I think, a big piece for next year's team. And I'm not just saying that's just going to be his only role. I think he can score. I think the guy's a player. But that's a big deal right there, having a veteran guy to help mentor this guy, kind of play a Tony Stark, Spider-Man type role a little bit for Devin Askew to kind of like lead him in the right direction. And, so I think there's a lot of reasons. Kenny, what do you want to say about this addition?
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really even know this guy existed until today. I was watching some highlights of him, and I mean, since Higgins is probably gone, and then we get Ju Zhang left, and then potentially we can get some other guys to leave. It's definitely good to get someone in that position. Max, he left; he was another guy in that position. So it is good to get someone there. Obviously, I would have been more interested in getting a big man, just because that we might be weaker there.
Yeah.
But for what I saw, I'm definitely excited. I mean, the fact that you said they were like 7th, I mean, that's someone coming from a team that's good is pretty crazy. Definitely think that it looked like he can shoot and that he can dribble really well. And so I'm definitely excited. But to be honest, I'd have to watch a lot more of him to get a bigger opinion about it.
I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, the footage I was able to see, it was really hard finding videos. I only really found 2 really good videos that showed some of his plays. So it is kind of hard to get a really good feel on how this guy can play just from like 2 minutes of footage. Yeah. But just based upon the footage I saw, the kind of person I thought he was in his interview that I watched, and also the stats, that's kind of what I'm basing this off of right now, which is all you really can do at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's really, I think it's a big addition, especially at this point, because like Kenny just said, at this point, where we're at with our roster with guys from last year's team, I'll start with Nate Sestina. The NCAA screwed up again, and they're not going to let seniors come back for another year, just for one season, so he's out of the picture. The guys that have confirmed that they're going pro, like you've seen on my channel and you've probably heard from everywhere else, is Ashton Higgins is going pro for sure, and also Tyrese Maxey. Those 2 are confirmed, and we're still waiting. And then obviously Ju Zhang transferred to UCLA. That actually just was made official yesterday. And basically we're just waiting on at this point Emmanuel Quickly, Nick Richards, and EJ Montgomery. That's going to be a part I was going to get to a little bit because at first I wanted to talk about our roster right now. I'm going to be posting a picture of our current roster situation on my Twitter right after I'm done with this live stream. I know someone called me out on Twitter saying we have more than 8 players. I'm not counting walk-ons. I'm just going off of players that'll be scholarship players. With this addition of Davion Mintz, sorry, we get so many players. These names are so hard. Yeah. And I'm going to get to these. I'm going to get to that comment, Mr. Mashman, in a second. I just want to say one thing. I'll answer that. Okay. So basically, we have 8 players right now with the 6 incoming freshmen, 3 guards, and then 3 forwards. And then you have Keon Brooks deciding to return as a 7th guy. And then as an 8th guy is Davion Mintz. There is 9 if you include Dante Allen, which in my opinion, I'm expecting him to return. But what we've learned over the years is I'm not going to assume anyone's coming back until I see it said from the player or the school puts it out. So at the point I see him on the actual roster on their website, I'll add him into the mix. And that's actually 9 if you include him. So with the 9 players, if you add him in, we have 4 guards and we have 4 guards and then 5 forward type players. In the 4 guards, you have Devin Askew, Terrence Clark, and BJ Boston Jr., who those are all 5-star guards. They're all 5 stars. And then you have the addition of Davion Mintz, he was previously a 3-star, but he's played 3 years of college basketball in the Big East, and he has there's a lot of experience that could really prove to be beneficial for him. And then for the bigs, we have 3 4-stars, and I go off of 24/7 Sports. That's kind of the stats and numbers that I do. So you guys, they might be 5 stars on other sites, but I'm going off of 24/7. So the 3 4-stars in Isaiah Jackson, Lance Ware, and then Cameron Fletcher. Those guys are all forwards, and I haven't seen them play enough to really have an opinion yet on them. From what they look like, they seem like they're kind of like a Brooks-type player. They're kind of like a swing, like a forward-type guy. Lance Ware is starting to grow me a little bit more, like with how big he is. He kind of looks like a center a little bit. But they're all considered power forwards / small forwards. So you have those three mixed with Keon Brooks, who will be a sophomore next year, and then Dante Allen, who would be a redshirt freshman, I would think. So that's 5 bigger guys and then 4 guards. So that's 9 total players.
So we've lost 3. So we've lost 3 guards so far, and then 1 big man
from the past season. Well, we've lost 2 guards. Well, yeah, 3 guard. That's right.
Goodness gracious.
So we've lost 3 guards from last year, and Maxey, Higgins, and Juzang. So basically, shoot, what was I say? So basically, so with 9 guys, my prediction. I'll let you say what you think in a second. I really think that we could ultimately have 11 guys on this team in the end. I kind of consider Dante Allen as a kind of a Derek Willis, Dominique Hawkins type guy where, remember on the 2015 team, we had Hawkins and Willis on the bench, and they were the 11th and 12th guys on that team because they accepted their role as a Kentucky kid, and there was better guys in front of them. They played when they could, but they were guys that bought into the team. I think if Dante Allen buys into the team, we could have 11 guys with him being the 11th guy. And I think he could play a lot. We just haven't seen him play yet.
Yeah.
And that's why I really think with the 9 we have, I really think out of the 3 that we're still waiting on, I want to get 2 back. If we get 2 out of the 3 back, we will be stacked. But if we can just get 1 back and then add 1 more guy, either Greg Brown, the last 5-star to decide, which we'll be doing a live stream for that, by the way. Stay tuned for that. And then obviously there's a lot of grad transfers out there right now, but the one that I'm going to get to the comment right now that Mr. Mashman 93 said is Matt Harms, the grad transfer from Purdue. He's a 7'3", 250-pound monster who plays a lot of energy. So Mr. Mashman 93 says, do we get Harms? Is he good? Is he a good fit? Just go on. Love the addition of Davion. He is a perfect fit in my opinion. I agree on that. I think he'll be a great fit, a great role player on this team, and he could develop into a bigger role depending on how good he plays. But I think he's a big piece of this team for sure. So I really agree with that, Mr. Mashman. And then for Harms, in my opinion, I mean, there's so many teams in the mix right now. Supposedly he's going to be releasing a top 10 list tomorrow. So I would expect Kentucky to be on that list. And there's 10 teams. I mean, I'm sure every team in the country's reached out to him. But I would say we will be on that list of top 10 teams. And obviously, I think I could envision everyone fitting in to Kentucky teams. I just think for the best situation, like, oh, this guy's going to be perfect with this team. But I really do think he'd be a great fit. I think with all the guards we have and all the quickness, he could be a dominant force down low, getting rebounds, just posting up. And if he takes 2 guys to guard him, that opens up so many lanes for guys to slash around and just put the ball in the basket. And the biggest thing for Matt Harms, I think, fits in perfectly, and I've always been this kind of a guy for every player we ever had, is if you play with energy, that's a big piece that not everyone has. Like a guy like Keldon Johnson had energy when he played. Keon Brooks has energy when he plays and he has confidence. I mean, I could go on and on. There's a lot of guys that play with energy. That's a big piece. And I seriously think if we can get Matt Harms, obviously I would take Richards. If I could choose between Nick Richards and Matt Harms, I would go with Richards, obviously. He's been to be a 4-year guy. But if Richards and Montgomery both leave, which is what I'm hearing, Nick Richards I haven't really heard much about, honestly. Don't listen to too much what you hear on that. I think no one really knows, to be honest. Montgomery people know because his dad said, the comments that he said, that he thinks he doesn't need another year, which I disagree with. But say we lose those 2, I'm taking Matt Harms any day of the week. And like Kenny and I were just talking about earlier, when a 7'3" guy, 250-pound guy comes available on the market who'd be a senior out of the Big Ten, I'm not questioning it, and I'm taking that piece. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if he's an attitude problem and is an issue, like I saw he said in a message that he wanted to go somewhere that he could showcase his NBA talent, then, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that. I mean, everyone wants to showcase their NBA talent. It's like all our players every year. Yeah. But if something comes out and you see he's a bad teammate, I haven't seen it, then maybe I've changed my mind on that. But as of today, as of April 10th, 7/14, I'm all in on Matt Harms, and I would really love for that addition to be made. And a comment I kind of made, I don't know if I said it on Twitter, I kind of was envisioning Nick Richards and Matt Harms playing together as like a twin tower look, kind of like the Cauley-Stein-Noel look we had in 2013. But obviously, I just don't think it's possible for us to get Harms and Richards, with 9 guys already on the roster, basically. So that's kind of a hope that I'm kind of losing. But I think it's definitely possible to get one of Richards, Montgomery, or Harms. And I'm all in on Harms. Kenny, you haven't really seen too much footage on him, but you would take him, right?
Yeah,
if he wants to come.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like you just quoted me, I said, I mean, the 7'3" guy comes along, and while we may not have, we definitely won't have too much depth.
No,
but we may not even have enough to get by. Well, I don't know. It's very slim at the big man spot, so definitely not going to question it. Definitely take him. And yet to assume if Richards leaves, I mean, God forbid, freaking EJ leaves too, then we are definitely going to need him. But
that's
even if both of them come back, we could still really need him.
That's really the thing right there. Is it's out of the 4 bigs, was it? Did I say 5? There's the 3 freshmen. Yeah. So out of the 5 bigs, I said before, they're not really. There's none of those guys are centers. Maybe Lance Ware is, and I'm just watching the film wrong. But I really don't think that we have a center. And out of all the teams that we've had that are really good, what's one thing that's been consistent? We've had a rim protector. Richards was great at that last year. Davis was obviously great at that. Towns was great at that. I mean, Noel, Cauley-Stein. There's so many guys that were rim protectors. I'm not sure who. Obviously, all these guys can jump. I'm not saying nothing about that. But I just think getting a guy like Harms, I mean, 7'3", he's got to be a good shot blocker. I mean, he's 7'3".
Yeah.
Even if he's not, he'll be affecting shots down low. So basically, I'm definitely all in on Matt Harms for sure if we can get him. But like I said, there's the 3 we're waiting on: Quickly, Montgomery, and Richards. And then if we find out that all 3 of those guys are gone, then we got to get Harms. We have to get Harms. There's no other. If we don't get Harms, then someone else is going to have to open up that we don't know about at this point. That's why I'm kind of all in on Harms, because there's not anyone else I'm seeing as a possibility. As much as I want Greg Brown, who would you rather take if you guys could choose? A freshman 5-star or an experienced, battle-tested Big Ten center from a great conference, in my opinion. So I just think if you had to choose between those, I'm taking the experience all day. Because out of the last 2 years, what's worked out really well? Reed Travis from Stanford as a grad transfer. Nate Sestina as a grad transfer from Bucknell. And those guys were, I mean, talk about perfect fits. I mean, it's going to be hard to keep getting guys like that, but they were perfect fits that came in, bought into their role, sacrificed, and played just great. I mean, Reed Travis is a great guy when we met him. I'll put that picture up on my Twitter at some point. And Nate Sestina, we would have met him if there would have been this stuff going on. So let me get to some other comments here. Let's see. Mountain Warriors, how is he from the free throw line? We were good from the line this past season. If you're talking about Mintz, from the numbers I saw, it was like 75 to 78%. So it's nowhere near Quickly. I wasn't expecting that, but hopefully he can clean that up going into next year. But that was just his numbers from his time at Creighton. And then Mr. Mashman, the NCAA always seems to make the wrong decisions concerning the kids. I agree. I mean, I'm just getting into that more now, and I'm just starting to pay attention more about that stuff. And I always heard people complain. Our Uncle Lee complains about the NCAA all the time for screwing us and stuff. But this is just another example. Like, this would have been a great opportunity for them to take the side of the kids. This is not an every year thing. I mean, how many years are you going to cancel the tournament? This is the first time since 1923.
Yeah.
So you could just made this rule and say, let the seniors come back that want to come back. Not all seniors would have came back. A lot of guys still went pro or left and did something else. But just give the option. That is just like, and this actually just shows that they're incompetent, in my opinion. When they say, well, they played the majority of the season, that just shows you know nothing about sports, because what's the point of the season? You played it to get to a certain point at the end. And for a guy like Nate Sestina, that was going to be his one chance to play an NCAA tournament with a big program and maybe go for a title. So, like, and he didn't get to do the conference tournament either. So that's such a bogus explanation out of them. And I got so mad at that. I put a tweet out.
10 games.
But yeah, it's like they like thought doing the. I mean, I saw people saying like, well, they did the right thing about spring sports. Like, well, they better. Spring sports didn't even get started. Like, that's not even a decision. Like, that's an obvious choice. This was a choice that they really made a stupid call on, and I'm not happy about it at all. I would have loved to have Nate Sestina back. If we got Nate back, we might not even have this discussion right now who we're going to be adding. If you already would have had Nate. So, yeah, I agree. They really just are not good. Mountain Warriors, such BS that Nate is not allowed to come back. Liked having him on the team. We will get enough back and find 1 or 2 more to fill out the roster. BBN. I agree. That's where we're at right now. We got 9 total. And I think we can get 11 total if you include – I think we can add 2 more out of the 3 that we have deciding, and also maybe a new addition depending on what's going on. And then Mr. Mashman, 24/7 is the only way to go. ESPN, thumbs down. Yeah, for some reason, first of all, just when I'm accessing the website, I don't know about you guys, but trying to access ESPN's site is just not very user-friendly in my opinion. And there's just in 24/7, I'm able to get to where I want to go so fast. And I use 24/7 for almost everything I do for recruiting and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I go off of. Mountain Warrior says, "What the heck? What the heck just ran behind you guys?" That was our cat. I don't know what's going on. He's sitting over here now.
Angle the camera, show him.
Here, let me show you really quick.
Cat's sleeping over there. Now he's awake. He ran down here like a maniac. I don't know
what that was all about. Hopefully that's a sign that we're going to be getting Matt Harms or Nick Richards back. He knew the news and he ran around. I don't know why the sun is reflecting right at us right now.
He's our wildcat.
But let me see here. So let me see the next comment. Was that a wildcat? That was a wildcat running by there. NCAA March Madness 2K20 starting lineup prediction: Mintz, Quickly, Boston, Clark, and Jackson, with the bench being Askew, Fletcher, Allen, Brooks, and Ware. So that would be 10, including Quickly back. Hold on a second. Talk for a second. This flipping sun.
Yeah, well, so as of right now, on a totally random note, when you were talking about, I don't think Richards is gone. And then,
okay.
Yeah, you weren't gone for that long, but
I'm
not going to finish my point.
I
think Richards is gone, and EJ is coming back, and yeah.
So what I was saying before about this NCAA March Madness 2K20, you were saying we had 10 players basically with the lineup we have now with getting Quickly back. That'd be a big win in my opinion. We got Quickly back and nothing else. That's a big piece. I mean, Quickly's a huge piece. That would be awesome to have back for his junior season.
I have him on my dream team.
Yeah, seriously. He was on your dream team from the Cal era. So yeah, so that's probably a good prediction and probably more accurate prediction than what I'm saying. I'm just kind of thinking along the lines of that we can possibly get one of the three back and then add in Matt Harms. But if we don't get Matt Harms, then we can get two of them back. So it's anyone's pick right now. I mean, I'm not an insider here. That's just kind of what I'm feeling like right now. And it's kind of fluctuating throughout the days. It's like you'll be getting news like, oh, Quickly's leaning this way or Richards is leaning this way. I don't think anyone really knows truly. The only reason people are saying this stuff is, I mean, maybe they do have a sources telling them, but these families, especially Quickly's family, I don't think anyone's going to release that until they actually announce it themselves. So don't listen to too much of that stuff online. I mean, every once in a while it's accurate, but most of the time it's not. So NCAA March Madness 2K20, I like that prediction right there. That would probably be true. Mr. Matchman looked like a mountain lion to me. He is pretty big. He is a pretty big cat.
He is a big cat. He creaks the stairs when he walks up and can open doors himself. So.
Mountain Warriors agrees with that comment. And then Mountain Warriors, Mr. Matchman 93, I'll get back to that question and we'll probably close on that. It's like a really good question right there. It might be a video we might do in the future, so I'll get that in a second. And then you said, you two keep this going. You two have a future in this, man. Hey, we really appreciate that.
Thanks.
Hey, that really means a lot. I mean, we're just fans, and we just figured, you know what? We get so animated during these games, and we care so much about this. Is like our life. Like, why not put it on film and just see? I mean,
why not live stream it?
Yeah, why not live stream it? Also, like when we watch the games, like I just figured it's a great way for all the fans to kind of, even if you're not a fan of Kentucky, just watch like the reactions we have, talk about the game. I mean, we're always wanting to vent to each other during games. And it's a great way to just kind of communicate within the fan base. And also, people just want to just watch Kentucky fans freak out. They can do that too. And then Mr. Mashman's predicting that we get Harms and EJ. Look out. Yes. So if we did that, that would be what I'm saying is 11 players. And it's really pick your combination out of. So we have 9 guys, and then you have the 4 options in Harms, Richards, Quickly, and Montgomery. You get 2 of the pick any of those 2. I mean, I think any of those 2, any combination of those 2 is a big deal. If we do that, I agree. Look out, because I think we could be right now, I think we're already really talented right now, but that would really put us over the top and get me really excited for next year.
And Richards
yeah. So really, out of those 4, I'm saying 2. And then you said EJ back. I mean, yeah. I think he should come back. If you're asking my opinion, if he should come back, without a doubt, a guy like EJ. Unless he's just so a guy like EJ, if you're asking my player advice, opinions on this, I mean, obviously, if he's going, then he's just satisfied with getting a G League contract and possibly getting there through there or going overseas. So, I mean, I think it's just as a smart player decision and just for just basic common sense. I think E.J. Montgomery should come back. But that's my opinion on that. NCAA March Madness 2K20, would our backcourt be as good as Baylor, Creighton, and Wisconsin from this past season? Hold on, just on right. Backcourt is the guards, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's gonna be hard to overdo our last year's backcourt. I thought our combination of Maxey, Quickly, and Higgins was really, really good. 3 great ball handlers. It's hard to tell with these freshmen because you just never know how they're going to come in and play. But obviously, the 3 guards we have coming in are all 5 stars, and Clark, Boston Jr., and Askew. And then you throw in Mintz now into the mix, who looks like a pretty solid point guard. I guess it would be deeper than last year's team as of right now. So yeah, if we get Quickly back, that would easily be the best backcourt, I think, in the country. I mean, I'm not sure about other teams at this point, but that's how I feel on that.
Yeah. What's up, BBN? I'm stepping in here for Kenny for a minute. Wish we had some basketball that we had just had that didn't happen. But now Jake is catching you up on what we're looking at next year, which is exciting, especially now since sports is on the back burner. Hope everybody's doing well out there. I do think our front court is going to be good. Again, I do wonder, like Mountain Warriors, the free throw shooting this past season was outstanding. We've been pretty good over the years with this. We've had a few years where we've been off, but that kind of stuff definitely made the difference, in my opinion, in a few wins this year. So hopefully we'll keep up with that.
Yeah, definitely. The free throw stuff, that's what's so disappointing about this last season is that's one thing we were actually feeling pretty confident about. And we all know how important free throws are. It might be the reason we've lost our last few tournament appearances, in my opinion, especially P.J. Washington. But he's also the reason we were in those games, so you can go both ways on that. Let's see. Mr. Mashman says Harms over Brown all day. That's where I'm at too. I mean, it's not a knock against Brown. It's just when you're thinking about it and what we're going to have as far as player experience next year. Take the worst case scenario that we lose the 3 of Quickly, Montgomery, and Richards. Like I was just telling you, the first round. So Harms, he was on that team last year or 2 years ago that went to this Elite 8. He's been on March Madness. He's been in March Madness, and that can go a long way. I'm not saying we've obviously done it without players that have been in the tournament, but would you rather have experience or not? Like I'm always taking experience, especially looking back in the past. We've had one title with this kind of philosophy, even though we had a senior that year. But I'm definitely, if I had to choose between Greg Brown and Matt Harms, I'm picking Matt Harms at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think our experience factor every year catches up with us a little bit. That's the twist of having all the talent we've had. I mean, Cal does a great job. He is the experience that we usually run off of, just his coaching. Like we've said, I love Cal. I love these teams. I think they do a good job, but we need to make more Final Four runs. We need to win a few more championships. That's just what this program is. Always proud of them, but I do think, like Jake just said, the experience factor gets us in the end. Typically, when we don't make the Final Fours, we've made a lot of Elite Eights, which is good. It's great for a lot of programs, but it is nice to add in these grad transfers to give us a little bit of age, experience, and obviously getting new guys now. That's always a new twist that they're hungry. But it is hard to go through not only the season, but then that 6-game tournament and put together that many wins to get a title. But it's definitely a lot of entertainment. It's fun to have. It's fun to watch. So hopefully we can get that right chemistry mix that'll get us another championship.
Yeah, definitely. That's another point about if you're choosing between the 5-star or Matt Harms. I mean, just from every source I've read on this guy, like NCAA March Madness 2K20 says Brown is going to Texas. That's where everyone's predicting. Like he's like 100% to Texas. He's from Texas. Now, no one knows that for sure, but that's obviously where the trend is going for him. We'll still do a live stream for that guy, but it seems like from all the rumors, which is, I mean, that does not always be true. I mean, obviously, one year we got Kevin Knox. No one had a prediction. We had like 2% of the predictions, and we got Kevin Knox. So you never know. But obviously, at this point, the smart call is Texas. And then a quick point on this. He said, or NCAA March Madness 2K20 says Jalen Green is going to Auburn. Yeah, it's a guy that we were in the mix for, a combo guard, that we ultimately got too many guards, and we just couldn't take that many on. So he seems like a pretty talented player, and that's hopefully doesn't go to Auburn because I don't want to see him for Bruce. I'd rather see him go out to Oregon or somewhere where we're going to see him play a lot. But yeah, that's probably a good guess for that. The Mountain Warriors says freshman 5-star with a Purdue guy, but either option would probably be good. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I just said, out of the two bigs that we're waiting on a decision out of Richards and Montgomery, I would take one of those two over any new guy just because it's a guy who's been here for a while. But in the situation that we lose Richards and Montgomery, then that's basically your choice is the 5-star or Matt Harms or maybe someone else who comes available in the near future. But at this point, that's the only options on the table that I know of. And then NCAA March Madness 2K20 brings up a good point. How about Amari, I can't say this. I can never say the name, but it's like Amari Hardy. Basically, where we're at with him, I've heard some stuff that we're not really in the running anymore. Someone said a good point. We don't want to have him come in because a big point about this guy, he just said Hardy, his younger brother is going to be a big-time 5-star recruit next season. And someone said we don't want his older brother to come in, have a bad experience, and have that affect the 5-star. I mean, that's a lot of if and like in thinking situation, but that's kind of where I thought it was a good point. Maybe that's not true, but I think we're kind of getting away from him at this point, especially because we've already got 4 guards now. If we did get him, that almost seals that we're not getting quickly back. But who knows? I mean, honestly, anyone knows at this point. He's still out in the market, so we'll see. Would you think would Hardy be a good pickup? I mean, I think he's an experienced guy. He played for UNLV. I haven't watched enough film to really comment on him yet, but I mean, he seems like a solid player. People have been mentioning his name since the very beginning. He was like the first grad transfer that I heard of that was a possibility for it to be an addition. And I think I'm sure he's a really good player. At this point, I'm not really thinking about him, but he is still out there. He hasn't committed to anyone. Mountain Warriors, Lee, where are you? Lee, where's the crew? Like Lee, Mikey, Travis, Lori, and the fam. Mick and your dad love BVN. Well, my dad's here now.
Yep.
At some point, we're going to get Mick in here to join a live stream. He'll be in some videos in the near future. He watched a lot of games in the past, and you're going to see him.
And we're going to get Mountain Warriors in here, too.
Yeah, I think obviously everyone there is part of our basketball family. Not only our family, for the most part, but all guys that we get together with watch games. And I assume everyone's hopefully at home safe during this tough time and getting ready to celebrate Easter the best they can. With
the people you saw in the Louisville game.
Yep. And the Florida game, and the Florida game at home. And then Dakota Pot says, "Go Big Blue." What's going on, Dakota? I don't know how you do it, but you've been getting those comments in there before I can even go in there and put my comment on. It's amazing. I don't know how you do it, but it's pretty good timing. It's amazing. Like before I can even put my comment, I'm like, it's already there. Like that's pretty crazy. NCAA March Madness 2K20. I like our schedule. A lot of ranked matchups. If we win 25 to 27 games without a bad loss, we could potentially be a 1 seed. I haven't really seen our schedule yet. I don't know if has it been finalized? I do know we have a lot of matchups set in stone, like the game in London against Michigan. I think we have a game against obviously we played Kansas in the Champions Classic to start the year. And I guess I think it's between UCLA or North Carolina and the CBS Sports Classic. We're not playing Ohio State because we just played them last year. But we always have a really good non-conference schedule, so I don't doubt that at all.
We play Michigan, right?
Yeah, Michigan and London. It's still on as of now, but who knows with what's going on.
Good game.
And then Christopher Reeves, what's going on, Christopher? Just got here, was watching Mintz highlights. Dude can shoot. Yeah, just based upon the short highlights I've seen, he looks like he has a really good stroke from 3-point range. Like I said, he shot at least 35% in each of his 3 seasons at Creighton. And like I mentioned before, the Big East is not a slouch of a conference. That's a really good conference. It's a deep conference. They might have had the most teams in the tournament this year behind the Big Ten, if there would have been a tournament this year. Mr. Matchman 93, I agree with your dad. The state of our program now getting to the Final Four needs to happen at least every 3 or 4 years. We were spoiled going to 4 Final Fours in Cal's first 6 years. I agree. Because the last Final Four we were at was 2015. 2015. And then since then we've been to what? 2 Elite Eights and then a Sweet 16 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that it's the way we're built. It's nothing, like I said, I love Cal. I think Cal's the best man for the job. The way he handles coaching, which I think he's much better than he gets credit for. The way he handles the job, it's not easy. Not many people can do it. We just have those expectations. Anyone that's been to Rupp, anyone that understands Kentucky, it's not being arrogant or anything like that. It's just that's how we're built. The fans expect the best. They give a lot of support. And get a Final Four every 3 to 4 years is the expectation, if not more. And then to get a championship every 4 years is the expectation. Alabama football is the same way. Same passionate fans. Nick Saban has done a great job there. They've got a lot of championships, and he's kept them at a high level, just like we have. We definitely deal with a little bit of different stuff there as far as we lose players every year. At college football, it's every 3. So that's for probably discussion for another day, but I do wish they'd have these guys either go straight pro or stay at least 2 years. So,
yeah, definitely a good comparison. Nick Saban, John Calipari, 2 of the best at their jobs for sure. NCAA March Madness 2K20, I believe Kansas, Richmond, UCLA, Michigan, and Louisville are all ranked with Tennessee and LSU and Arkansas. I didn't know we had Richmond scheduled. I forgot. Yeah, of course we play Louisville. I should have known that. We play them every single year. But those are some good teams right there. Hopefully we don't schedule as many of the really bad teams, because obviously those games just turn out to be really frustrating for us because our players just typically don't get up for those games, and we're getting guys banking in threes, and we're just having a headache of a game on a late Tuesday night, typically at that time of year.
Outside of a couple of those games, it's really not worth it for us. We don't gain too much. But that Louisville thing, just to throw in there, and knock on wood, we have dominated them, and that will be hard to continue to do with your rival. I believe we can, but I'm sure that'll be a tough game next year.
Yeah, definitely. The fact we've probably ripped off how many in a row against them, it's going to be tough to get another win in the KFC Yum Center.
Evansville.
Well, yeah, and obviously Evansville happened last year, but that's – yeah. And then let's see. NCAA March Madness 2K20 says, I think Keon Brooks will be a star one day. I agree. Keon Brooks has all the potential to be – like I said in his video I posted on our channel, Keon Brooks has the ability to be the best player on next year's team out of the players that are on it right now. He can shoot. He's athletic. He plays with energy. He's strong. Give him an off season to clean up his game and put together a more complete game of basketball. He could be really dangerous next year. I said in the video, and I truly believe that. And then Dakota, is UK's schedule out? I don't think it is. It's not been officially released yet. You can see we've scheduled certain games, and you can kind of put the pieces together. But I don't think the complete non-conference schedule has been established yet. Same with, I don't think we've established who we're playing in the Big 12 SEC Challenge yet either.
When's our next early season tournament thing? When's that open? Every 4 years.
It's every 4 years, so it's going to be. We just did it with a year ago, so probably in 2 years. Okay. So we still have to wait 2 more years for that to happen, or maybe I don't know how it actually works. I think it's 2 seasons before we get to do that. I wish that was every year. It's always great to watch them in August before we get a real exhibition game to even start, or a real official game. And then Mr. Mashman says, worst loss as a UK fan in your lifetime? You know what? You've had 2 questions so far that I think I want to answer, but I honestly want to save because those are great ideas for future videos to hear everyone's opinion. But I'll give a quick one, and then my dad will give his. But we'll do a video on that for sure, because I think we could each have a good story for that for a separate video. But just to mention mine, in my lifetime, it's 2015 Final Four loss to Wisconsin. It's just nothing can top that one for me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, all of them hurt. We don't get as many as other people. I would say that one now that I've heard it, just because that was perfection. You were looking at perfection for me, pushing 50 years old. First time in my life I would have seen that unfold, and that was a great year. Unfortunately, just ran into the wrong game, and but looking back further, for me, was definitely the Elite Eight game against Duke with the unforgettables. And that's something I know I've had my sons watch, and they weren't around for that one. That was back in '92, but that was a great game that didn't work out for us. But that loss that Jake just brought up, I'll put that one first.
And sorry for not reading the comment all the way through. I should have read it out because you actually mentioned that. You said Mr. Mashman said it used to be Duke in '92, which is I think the Leitner shot. But now it's Wisconsin 2015. That's, yeah. If I was alive for 92, I probably had the same situation there for sure. I think my dad's getting out of here.
I'm going to check out. Hey, good to see you guys. I'm going to let the boys take over, but BBN, hopefully everything's going well. Stay safe and look forward to a lot of hoops action. Go Big Blue.
Where the heck go?
Well, it's kind of hard to put anything above the 38. That loss you guys were talking about. It's hard to put anything above that, but the thing that comes close is the Aaron Harrison miracle shot year, just because it was so many miracle shots after another, and to lose the championship after all of those shots makes it basically makes all those shots. I mean, it means everything to us Kentucky fans, but it makes it to where people aren't going to remember that as much. It could have been it was such an epic buildup with all those shots, and then that was really, really disappointing. I remember just being so disappointed about that. So that's up there.
Definitely expect to see that in a future video where we can each give our worst loss moment for sure. Well, that'll definitely be a video that'll come out soon, or not soon, but at some point.
30 minutes.
Yeah. So NCAA March Madness 2K20 says 5 of the non-conference games are out based off of games in the classics and obviously Louisville, and then we play either West Virginia or Texas Tech in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Okay. I definitely believe that. For a second, I thought they would make us play Baylor because it just seems like they make us play the best Big 12 team from the previous year. And obviously, we can't play. Well, we really can't play Kansas again because we're playing them in the first game of the year in the State Farm Champions Classic. But yeah, that's true. I guess you could basically say the schedule's been established. We're just waiting on like a few more minor games to get established. A big little side note here, I'll just mention really quick. It seems like that they're trying to put in the works a game against Iona, who has a very familiar coach now in Rick Pitino. That would definitely be a match that I think a lot of people would want to watch. And I think that's definitely going to happen, if not next year, without a doubt the following season if he's still there. And then Karen Martin says, already missing UK. The season ended too early. Can't wait for next year. Agreed. Landon Markham, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
What's going on?
Mr. Mashman, yes, get rid of the one and done. Hopefully that rule from the NCAA can get changed. I mean, I keep saying that they're talking about it, but at some point they're going to make it to where you either go straight to the pros from high school, but if you go to college, you have to stay at least 2 years. That's what I thought the rule was going to be, but that's not been established yet. So, and then let's see. Landon says there might be bad weather this weekend. Oh, I did see there might be some severe weather in the Kentucky, Ohio, the Ohio and Kentucky region for sure, possibly.
Tornado warning.
We had some bad wind a couple days ago. A tornado touchdown about 15 minutes from here. Then you said, and for Landon, your game that was worse for you was you were not alive for 92, so I would say the 2015 loss. That's where I was at. Obviously, even though Kenny didn't say it, we were all affected by that loss. We're affected by every loss, to be honest.
I said it basically.
Yeah. So Dakota to Mr. Mashman, it would be the loss to UConn. So I think, Dakota, you're saying the same one that Kenny said. Even though we've lost to UConn twice in the Final Four and the championship game, we owe them a beatdown the next time we play them.
Them and Auburn.
Yeah. Well, at least we got them last year once. We still owe them another beatdown. Christopher Rees, I totally agree with your dad's comment about being required to stay 2 years. I say if you're a super stud like LeBron or something crazy, just go from high school to the NBA. Let's get rid of the one-and-done crap. Yes. That's where we're at, and I thought that's where the NCAA was going to make a call, but I feel like they're just waiting for Calipari to get out of there, then they'll make the rule.
They don't care about anything.
They always say they're working on a rule, but then they never do it. So
what are you doing over there?
So yeah, so I don't know what they're doing. And then they always wait for us to get screwed on a call before they change the rule book too. I'm not even going to get – that's a separate video. Not even going to start ranting about that. And then NCAA March Madness 2K20, I cried a lot when we lost to UNC in 2017. I could not get over that. That was a bad one, especially just the fact – it was like we lost twice. First we were up by 5 with 4 minutes to go, and then we let them go on a 12-0, 10-0 run, and we're down by like 6 or 7. And then we come back and tie it just to have Luke May hit a long 2-point shot with a foot on the line, the worst shot in basketball, and it swishes in. Like that still makes me sick, honestly. Because that team was so good. I mean, it's so frustrating. The reffing was bad. In fact, I'm going to get that comment right now. Christopher Reese says that was all the refs' fault, NCAA. There's a certain ref. Let me know if you guys heard of him. Higgins. That guy right there has. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but he was in the Wisconsin 2015 game where they missed a brutal shot clock violation that, in my opinion, really turned the tide in that game. Even though we were not helping ourselves, they got 2 free points late in the flipping game. And then he was the ref in the UNC game in 2017. You're going to see a video in the future of my Uncle Lee. We're so paranoid about that Higgins guy. My Uncle Lee thought that Higgins was calling another game when it wasn't actually him. But his ghost might have been on the court that day. That'll be a future video. Be ready for that. And then you said NCAA March Madness 2K20 says, I thought we could have beat Oregon in the Final Four and Gonzaga in the championship. Definitely. Exactly. That team was easily a championship team, and it's a shame we let Luke May and it was an astonishing game from Isaac Humphries too. He went off. He hit that big time jump shot, almost a 3-point shot, and let it get away. And Landon, we should get Matt Harms. I agree. I'm taking him all day if he wants to come. If he wants to come and he wants to fight and play with energy and buy in, I'm all in for him. And then NCAA Martinez, we can't play Baylor because we both played on the road last year. Oh, gotcha. I should have thought about that. That's a good point. See, I'll have to start doing that. That makes sense. So it's either going to be Texas Tech or West Virginia. Well, since we just played Texas Tech, I'd like to get them at home, but we did beat them, so I kind of want to just not play them again next year. So, and then Mountain Warriors agree with the worst losses. Wisconsin's loss cost us a chance for 40-0. Agreed. And then you said, hope all out there, BBN, stay safe. Have a great Easter. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your channel. Go Big Blue. Good point. Good comment. And Mr. Mashman 93, March Madness. Yes, March Madness, I cried over the loss in 2017 North Carolina, but I was just mad that we lost to Auburn in 2019. Oh, yeah, I just hate Connecticut. Dang them. Yeah, I know. They definitely are. They're annoying. They've cost us 2 years now, the 2011 year and then the 2014 year. Brutal. And then I agree. The Auburn loss, it wasn't the fact that it wasn't how we lost, it was who we lost to. We had beaten them twice that year.
3 times.
It was twice. We would have played them in the SEC. We lost to Tennessee. But we beat them twice that year. We beat them by 30 one time.
Yeah.
Very brutal.
I hate Auburn. It's my most hated team. Football and basketball. They have the 2 most annoying, worst coaches ever. They are the most annoying. They are literally the most annoying program above Duke at this point.
Yeah.
As the most annoying program, the players and coaches, just all together, both sports, well, basketball and football. Easily, yeah. I hate Auburn so much. In case you didn't know,
they're brutal. Especially, I would say Gus Malzahn's more annoying than Bruce, but
yeah,
it's close. That was a little flipping fist pumping guys last year. But Mr. Matt. Karen Martin says, agree on Higgins. Bad ref, really bad ref. Dakota, I live in Southern Kentucky, so no storms here. There you go. Hey, that's good. That's good. That's good weather there. Glad to hear that. Christopher Reeves, I think John Higgins had to go into hiding. Surprised they didn't burn his house down. I agree. Hey, at least we took down his business, it seemed like. He had like a lawn mowing sister business or something. I don't know what it was. But, yeah, that guy – It's real. If it comes, and you've already heard comments from him, I think he said, but you can just tell he has some kind of problem against Kentucky or Calipari. Really bad. And the fact that you have him do both those games, that is just such a bad. That's such a bad coincidence there. I mean, that is. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think he's screwed us.
Well, obviously, I'm not saying anyone should burn down a house or do that.
No.
I'm not trying to like threaten him or say.
I agree with what you said.
I don't like that. Well, yeah, I don't like that his business was destroyed or anything like that. I mean, I don't know. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to condone that. But I mean, it was obviously really bad. But I'm not going to condone someone ruining his business. I don't know if that's right.
If he did purposely screw us, then. He definitely deserves something.
If he did, yes.
Which you can get. Oh, look at that video.
Let's just move on.
Lee Martin will do a conspiracy video where he'll have like charts in this cave.
The Higgins documentary coming soon.
Yeah, check that on YouTube Plus. It's on YouTube Plus. Okay, then I'll wrap it up, guys. Landon, I'm in slight risk of severe weather, and these storms are going to happen Sunday. Tennessee is almost in a moderate. Something risk. There's been crazy weather going around. The wind's been pretty crazy. We had a branch come down and dent one of our new cars, which was not good. But that's better than having a tornado sweep through. So that's not a good comparison.
Yeah.
Dakota, I hate Auburn, but not as much as Puke and their effing coach or elf coach. I'm sorry, I heard that wrong. That's true. I agree. That's a great comment. Dakota, I agree with that. That's a great comment. My Uncle Lee would love that one. Then Landon, I'm ready.
What's worse, an elf or a goblin now?
I'm not going to say the name of it. I was going to say. Landon, I'm ready for ball. Got a good team. Hey, I'm not – I'll be a separate video. I'm going to address that. I definitely root for Kentucky football. I think they're a good team. I think obviously – getting back that quarterback, I think their quarterback would be – see, I'm not going to speak next. I don't know enough to speak on it, but I agree. Yeah, that's a good. I'll definitely be pulling for him for sure. Karen Martin agreed. JJ Quinn, what's going on, JJ? How's it going? Then Dakota, and he said an elf. Okay.
Is it Goblin or elf?
Goblin or elf? I'll do my first poll on that one at some point, but then YouTube might ban me for a week, so maybe I won't do that.
Can you identify with Coach K?
So yeah, guys, just want to do a quick live stream here. Dakota said an elf over a goblin. But yeah, guys, just want to do a live stream kind of addressing our thoughts on picking up Davion Mintz. It's a huge addition, in my opinion. It's always great to add guys to a team, especially the team next year with the situation we're in now, and then kind of leave it with the 4 players that are on our list right now, the 3 that are still deciding, and quickly, Nick Richards and EJ Montgomery, and then obviously Matt Harms as the grad transfer option. I think if we have 9 set up right now that I'll put on my Twitter in a second as a picture showing what our roster is going to be for next year. You pick 2 out of those 4, we are going to be set and ready to go, and I think. So stay tuned. Things will be changing. News will come out, and things will change. Obviously, it's how it goes. But great news today. It's been a pretty good week getting Brooks back and getting this new addition guard, a veteran guard on the team. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited. We had a lot of guards leave, and obviously, like always, we have a bunch of people leave. I'll have to look at more footage to get a more solid opinion on him. But I was excited from what I saw. He kind of reminds me of Higgins, the way that he's able to dribble and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna have to look at more stats, but definitely coming from a bigger school like that has me interested for sure.
Definitely. So that's a good way to end it here, guys. I really appreciate all you guys coming in. It's kind of short notice. I kind of just decided I should have set it up as soon as I posted the first video, but yeah, really appreciate you guys coming in here. It's always awesome to get even just one person in here, and you guys are all awesome. I always try to get to all the comments. Definitely can do it at this point, and I always try to do that to address you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys all stay safe. Stay safe with what's going on right now, especially with weather, and then obviously the situation going on. Hopefully you're all staying safe and healthy, and yeah, wish nothing but the best for all you guys. I'll definitely keep you guys up to date with all the news going on. A lot of Kentucky content to come. I'll do more live streams like this when there's big news that comes out, and we'll be doing a live stream for the Greg Brown decision, even if it's 100% for Texas. I'll still do it just to get a good live stream, and we can talk about some stuff, roster situation at that point. So that'll be 2 weeks from now. And yeah, I'm still working on how to close things off because I keep saying things over and over again. But yeah, really appreciate all you guys coming in here. And yeah, take care, all you guys. Landon, good point. Stay safe this weekend. You too, man. All you guys stay safe.
Go Big Blue.
Be well. And Dakota, yeah, 9 watching, only 6 likes. It's okay. As long as if you guys want to leave a like, that's good. But just happy to see you guys again. Just happy to see you guys in here. But yeah, hey, I'll see you guys in the next video. And take care, guys. Go Big Blue. Good day today.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Go Big Blue.